Looking at UVTV, motherfucker. I'm at a kid special ass and dudes for my people. Oh God. They feather me in. Today I'm gonna be talking about recreational hobbies leads to productivity during leisure time, and vacations are a foreign concept. So just in general, these basically kind of go hand in hand. High key. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to vacations, holidays, recreational usage, when it comes to different hobbies and stuff like that, because I know like recreational use, aka like recreational centers and stuff like that. Oh, we're gonna recreate how to have fun and enjoyment or amusement. Just you know what I'm saying? Able to recreate that vibe without going farther out. AKA look at that as like, oh, let's say like you really into hiking and stuff like that. Oh, instead of doing hiking, oh, we have some type of rock climbing thing inside the recreational center and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, a center to attract people towards that thing without having to go the distance to go as far as, you know what I'm saying, actually climbing a mountain or some shit like that, or you know what I'm saying, like putting himself in a certain scenario in the wild and stuff like that, to where it's done more in moderation and recreational use. But just in general, right, when it comes to hobbies, right, these are things that you do outside of your regular job and occupation and stuff like that, right? But when you learn to actually see, this is really the whole point, right? When you actually take your hobbies and you try to make them your job, but it's not like you looking at them like your job. It's like a thing of, oh, you got so good at your hobbies that you kind of do on your pastime that you just really like to do, that you can put yourself in a scenario, in position to where you end up getting paid for something that was just a hobby, aka something you just did on pastime or your leisure time, but it's a thing that you actually like to do. You just have to learn how to compartmentalize and not get lost into that expectation type of energy, aka, you know what I'm saying, you just did it on your own. You didn't care who was watching or not, so you're doing it because you actually like to do it. So once it actually become a job and the niggas have certain expectations of you, of how you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to create and things of that nature, you need to learn how to not give a fuck about that, because the root cause of why you start doing it in the first place is you like to do it on your leisure time, but it's still something productive at the same time that amuses you, and it's just one of your interests and stuff like that. So that's like a motherfucker when it comes to decompressing and a hobby they do on a pastime. Let's say they like watching movies and stuff like that, right? Let's say you end up becoming a movie reviewer on YouTube or something like that, like a content creator. Now, in your mind, it's just a hobby. You just start talking about it by sharing your opinions, and then motherfuckers happen to gravitate towards your opinion just from how you illustrate it or how you talk about it and stuff like that. And then you end up, you know what I'm saying, like blowing up, getting monetized and all that type shit, to where you end up becoming your job, and now your hobby ends up becoming your job or your occupation and stuff like that. But it's a thing that you do on your leisure time that you actually like to do, but it's still something productive though. You like creating content. You're a content creator and stuff like that. It's just you talking about you talking about movies and things of that nature. I'm just using that as an example so I can make it make sense. So in general, right, it helps you not be so spiritually lazy and stuff like that, because a lot of y'all end up being spiritually lazy based upon the space and the state of being y'all like to be in. And then you'll look at things like, because y'all be getting lost into the programs of seasonal breaks and holidays and stuff like that, right? When really they be putting y'all in a program of what they look at as a holiday or a sacred day and stuff like that, based upon different vacations and stuff like that. But the reason they act so vacant and they like motherfuckers being on vacations, because they like to act like, you know what I'm saying, they already was in the state of being, man, I'm gonna be real, right? Based upon like capitalism and colonization and stuff like that, right? That's like a foreigner concept. Like, that's not a thing in moderation. It's just only constructed based upon the American society of how they want to do things. But we already know America got made based upon colonization and capitalism and stuff like that, right? So they're trying to capitalize off a product for the sake of money or a monetary gain and stuff like that. So based upon these different holidays, aka sacred days, that's something they find sacred, based upon them making it like a column, or them gentrifying it, or them capitalizing off of it for the sake of business and a monetary gain and things of that nature. That's why you have stuff like July 4th and then people being off, or Christmas and stuff like that, and making a whole allegory around that. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be some type of mysticism or witchcraft around it to make it so, oh yeah, during this time period, Black Friday or something like that, or President's Day or MLK Day or Veterans Day and stuff like that, oh, we're going to make a thing of, let's try to get a monetary gain or business out of this. Or like Ramadan, let's make a religion out of this, because they always think in the pretense of business, religion, education, entertainment, and politics. And in culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's cultivate something out of that so we can plant that seed to where we can have some type of abundance, and this money tree can grow, and we can have our little faces on it, and our providence, and God we trust, and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so based upon that happening, it's already kind of putting y'all and conditioning y'all into a pretense to be spiritually lazy, based upon them not even being spiritually lazy. They the ones who created it in the first place to make that a holy day and a sacred day, to where they can benefit off of it, to where they can sit on their ass, and then you have to work and work and work, and then when it's starting to get to those seasonal transitions where, oh yeah, you gonna be off, you still gonna be working on buying things at Walmart, and buying all these things when it comes to different businesses and enterprises and stuff like that, and they making money sit on the ass from making a whole construct of a holiday like Christmas or Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Oh, let's go out during this time to go get turkeys. Oh, let's go out during this time to go get flowers and stuff like that. Everyone gonna come to the flower shops and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Is you basically giving all your energy away to those different programs of a holiday, their holy days, the things they find sacred of what they're trying to praise, and the pretenses of, oh, them worshiping some type of deity, God, goddess mentality, and things of that nature, so they can still be in that position in the first place, instead of you trying to make your own holy days and sacred days and find your own ways to actually go about it. Because y'all be trying to conflate that holiday energy and the vacation energy, when really you're just giving praise to a sacred day, but making that space vacant and fulfilling that with what they constructed it as, aka like Christmas or Thanksgiving and stuff like that, right? But you're leaving vacant. Like, you ain't trying to do something that you made and you created and you try to make it sacred and stuff like that. You have to give your power away to what someone else created, based upon the programs and the things they have constructed in America and society and things of that nature, to make it look like a societal norm. And then the minute you start to act out characteristics of not giving a fuck about it, right, they start making you look a certain way because you want to create your own culture or create your own way of looking at it that's outside of their societal program or whatever, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like casting stones, hiding their hand, and things of that nature. But they don't realize, nigga, someone had to create that. It's not no thing of the divine and stuff like that. It's not no thing when it's trying to give credence to some type of deity and things of that nature. No, someone had to create that mentality and make that the societal norm in the first place, and program it and gentrify it and try to capitalize, and try to colonize and capitalize off of it in some way, shape, or form. And then you trying to do it in your own pretense, but they're going to make a thing of, oh, we can do that and you can't do that, and we're going to change the rules in the game up if you try to do that. So don't hate the player, hate the game and stuff like that. But we going to make all these mental monopoly games and stuff like that to make it so we can do it, but you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it basically make y'all spiritually lazy and put y'all in a comfort zone to where, oh, during this time, we have to give credence to this holy day, and we have to go on vacation and make ourselves vacant in the mind when you could have been productive doing something else. You get what I'm saying? So vacations is just a period spent away from home and business for travel and recreation. But what are you traveling towards? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to recreate? The only thing it's going to lead to is, oh, you're going to be traveling, recreating, and going on vacation to get away from what you already done created as a pretense in some way, shape, or form. So you always gonna be on business. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna be working, even when you going to sleep and stuff like that. Okay, your body sleep, your mind is sleep, your spirit ain't sleep though. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what it leads to the different things we be seeing from us moving inside the subconscious mind in our dreams and stuff like that. Your body sleep, your physical body sleep, and then your light body, your mind is sleep, but your spirit ain't sleep. Your spirit is no shape and form. So it's always going to be working. It's always going to be emanating. It's always going to be, you know what I'm saying, emanating thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, which leads to it becoming a mind, aka the subconscious mind, which leads to us having dreams when we go into sleep and things of that nature, right? Because our bodies are still temporary. So we still need to recharge and we still need to rest and things of that nature. But we're always constantly moving and changing. So the same way how like the seasonal transitions and the atmosphere and stuff like that, those things don't change. It's not no day where it's not going to be the sun coming up and rising from the east or whatever and then going down in the west. I'm just using that as an allegory. I know it's not actually that. It's just the earth rotating and it looked like the sun is moving, but it's really us moving. But yeah, like those different pockets of the sun from dawn till dusk and daybreak to the twilight zone and stuff like that, day, nighttime, circadian rhythm and things of that nature. So my main point being is life don't stop. So I don't know why y'all made up, like, they end up making up this concept to make y'all spiritually lazy, like stuff like vacations and holidays and stuff like that, to actually get away from being productive so you can get more money in their pockets, because it's going to be their corporations and their enterprises and their managers and their, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you work like a 9 to 5 type job or whatever, you know what I'm saying? 7 to 12, however you want to do it, compared to you being your own boss, or you having your own business, or you turning your hobbies into your job and occupation. So even if it's something based upon your leisure time and things of that nature, right? Or you relaxing and you decompressing, you really still doing the same thing that you like to do. You really need to put yourself in a pretense of, let's say you was doing music, right? Your main occupation and thing is you make music and you're a musician. And even on your breaks, right? You could focus that energy somewhere else. Okay, you want to make music, you're going to end up making music videos and stuff like that. You could end up taking a break from doing your music, aka like, let's say you're trying to make a song and stuff like that, and then you're having a hard time making this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was good and warmed up and stuff like that, and you made a couple songs, but it's just one particular song you feel like you can't finish. You feel like you're getting like writer's block, or you feel like not everything coming out. Okay, take a break from it for a minute, and you end up doing something else. You end up get on your laptop and then pull up some type of video editor and stuff like that, right? And you end up editing your music videos and things of that nature. You got help from other people, but you editing your music videos, or you making your cover art because you're in the graphic design and you got Adobe on your shit, right? So you end up taking a break from making those songs or trying to make that particular song, because it end up making you overly frustrated. So that lets you know you kind of forcing something, it's not coming natural, and you end up focusing that energy somewhere else. So you end up taking a break from that, and you end up focusing that energy on something else. But end of the day, it still has something to do with the music in general, and is one of your other hobbies that you also into, but it's not your main thing, but it kind of still has to deal with the main thing. You get what I'm saying? So like, when you start to make like little things like that, like when you relax and you decompress and stuff like that, from when you doing something productive, it's still you doing something productive. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You switching how you doing it for the most part. So you taking a break, or you being vacant from this thing so you can focus on this thing, but everything you doing still has to deal with the music. You know what I'm saying? It has to deal with the main thing that you're doing. So it's just a different mechanism. It's just a different process and a different thing you have to do to even make it actually happen like that in the first place. You get what I'm saying? So it puts you in that hustler type mentality. Oh, you're working even if you're not working. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you, this in general, you always working on something. Even if you being lazy and you being procrastinating and stuff like that, okay, you have to put yourself in that state of being. So you still have to work on that. Okay, you're working on procrastinating. Oh, you're working on being lazy. You still have to work on that. So it's like what I was saying before. Okay, even when you go to sleep and stuff like that, okay, your body sleep and your mind sleep. Your spirit ain't sleep though. You know what I'm saying? The state of being and the space you in and stuff like that. That's what make your subconscious mind and your dreams and things of that nature. You still emanating. You still seeing imagery. You still seeing images and stuff like that. You still seeing shit. You still observing stuff. It didn't really go away, and that's the main point of what your spirit is doing. It's from an observation point. It's observing. It's sentience. It's thoughts and feelings, and those thoughts and feelings gets condensed even more into the physical shape and form of our different organs and awarenesses and things of that nature. So you're still observing. You still, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still transitioning. You still moving. Stuff is still going on. It's just you needed to rest your body, because your body is just a container of these things, and your body is only temporary, so it's gonna wear and tear and deteriorate and stuff like that. But the main thing that's eternal and the high hanging fruit is the spirit and the essence and the substance, which is just the subconscious standing, which makes the essentialities of what's important for you, aka you and your own mannerisms and behaviors and characteristics, to what make you in the first place, which makes your individual space, your individual spirit, which is just your soul. So what resonates with you in general, your subjective point of view in worldview. That's why you have your own mind, and you have space between me and you. This distance between me and you. I got my own mind, you got your own mind. I got my own free will, you got your own free will, and we all gonna act out these different free wills of what we trying to create for ourselves. And that's what God in general made possible. All possibilities. God is just all possibilities. It made it possible to where we can be like God. We can be possible. We can be in existence. We can be sentient and stuff like that in our own subjective way of being one of a kind and things of that nature. Otherwise, your ass wouldn't even be here. So once you learn how to take decompressing, relaxation breaks, and resting, which are still required to recharge, but it's about how you take a break, not what you taking a break from, like with the example I was explaining earlier, right? And vacations lead y'all to be comfortable with escaping or getting away from work, labor, and the hustle, especially if it's away from your homeland and stuff like that. So that's what leads to people acting out in that like pilgrim Protestant type of mentality and stuff like that, right? Okay, Protestants, they left the Catholicism way of the religion at the time, but at that time it was really just a different government. So look at Catholicism, like the government that England or Europe was running with at the time, and the Protestants didn't like it, so they started to, you know what I'm saying, get on their boats and make Christopher Columbus type of concepts, and then that's where it led to the Pilgrim Mayflower boat of them coming to America and the 13 colonies and them taking over Native Americans and the Indian removal and all that type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was them vacating, abandoning ship, you know what I'm saying, abandoning from their homeland to go to a whole nother homeland of culture and people and things of that nature that has nothing to do with their ethnic background, has nothing to do with where they from and things of that nature, and take over here because they didn't like it over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know me saying that motherfuckers gonna be looking at that shit a certain way, but that is what they did though. They abandoned they posts, departing from a property of where they from, went to a whole different home and homeland, and basically didn't know how to mind their business and figure out what was going on at home, their own domestic issues and fights and stuff like that from their own homeland, and they went to a whole other homeland because they don't know how to handle their own business, and they made them not being able to handle their business and subject that into make that the Native Americans business, or anybody who end up taking over other people's land and stuff like that based upon different nations and things of that nature. That's basically what you're doing. So if you colonizing, that means you already was acting colonial in your own, you know what I'm saying? You was already acting imperialistic from where the fuck you from. If you gotta kill and prey upon other people and stuff like that and genocide, okay, you already genociding yourself inside in so much shape or form. You already killing yourself. You already have a mental illness. You already mentally deteriorating and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You already slowly but surely killing yourself. Because if you already have that thought form of trying to kill or trying to, you know what I'm saying, like self-project like that means you don't even know how to self-reflect right. You don't even know how to deal with your own energies and stuff like that, which is why you slowly but surely starting to kill and wear and tear on your own mentality, which leads to your organs and you getting some weird-ass cancer or whatever, and you trying to explain why, or the doctor's trying to explain why, but that's really the main reason why, because of stuff like that. But like, yeah. So it's literally like killing yourself from the inside out, if you want to make that allegory. So, just in general, right? Recreational hobbies lead to productivity during leisure time, and vacations or just a foreigner concept. That whole vacation concept is a foreigner concept. And then based upon the program that they put y'all in through seasonal breaks and holidays and stuff like that, aka holy days and sacred days, the things they like to protect and give praise to for the most part, right? That's what it basically leads to y'all being spiritually lazy and not trying to create your own culture and your own holy sacred days and the reasons why you want to wake up in the morning and the things you want to be productive in, and you have to, you know what I'm saying, you end up making your own community and make your own thing when it comes to your people, and y'all all trying to create the same thing. It's just they made a Monopoly game Magic Square system in the column based upon society in America to make it so they can do that, but you can't do that, and they're going to do it harder than you. And they're going to throw a whole bunch of different illusions and sobs to make you feel like you're wrong for even trying to practice that, even though the original starting point is to be creative. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you literally trying to stop the free will from somebody else when they already got their own free will. They already got their own goddamn mind. So, unless they trying to self-project that and they trying to attack what you got going on to where they trying to block you from being creative and things of that nature, right? Okay, that's here nor there. But when you start acting out in that energy of trying to block someone else, of trying to correct something or be themselves of their own volition, right? They got their own free will, and you trying to block them, it's only gonna be more damaging for you than the other person, because they're in defense mode. They're trying to shield because you're blocking them from creating and utilizing their free will, and you in attack mode. You're trying to attack or be in like that hater type mentality, if that makes sense. So from you being in hater energy and you don't know how to mind your business, you don't got no business to mind. That's why you always focus on what someone else is doing, and you don't even know how to fulfill that space yourself. So when you see another motherfucker who can do it in a more genuine, sincere way and fulfill it themselves and be self-reliant and mind their own business and got their own things to be productive in, to even give a fuck about the other shit other people got going on and stuff like that, that means you got no business to mind. You know what I'm saying? So your mind is going to be left dormant and you going to be left vacant and empty to not trying to fulfill it with something, which gonna make you be in that energy of being like a hater or being like a taker or being like an energy vampire, and you want to drain that away from someone else, when really you need to mind your fucking business and find your own shit they have going on. Stop being spiritually lazy because you're procrastinating in some way, shape, or form, and you have no business to mind and to matter with, which is, it basically leads you down that train of thought and line of thinking of you hating yourself, or you not mattering, or you don't know how to utilize your mind in so much shape or form. And then your mind end up being all over the goddamn place and you can't figure out if you coming or going. You end up being out your goddamn mind. You know what I'm saying? Which leads to mental illness and mental disorders. You all disorganized and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no creativity. You don't got no productivity. You don't got no genuality to actually offer and share. You don't got no ability. You don't got no talent that you actually trying to share from what you trying to create. You end up looking at other motherfuckers who know how to create, and then you end up hating because you can't create like them. You have to have some type of agenda first, or some narrative first, or some type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need the masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to act like a con artist or something like that, like a charlatan. Like, you need something synthetic first. You need something GMO. You need something that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, like some fake it till you make it type of energy, but like in the most negative way possible. Like, you have to act fake. Like, you have to act synthetic because you can't just come as yourself. You don't got no thing that you done did yourself without having to rely on other people on a high percentage scale and stuff like that. I'm not trying to say you can't have help, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, you ain't trying to create something of yourself. So from you lacking that, that's why you feel the need to cast stone on someone else when they actually doing that, which would make up the concept of, oh, a motherfucker who want to go on vacation or be vacant from minding their own business and trying to figure out their own homeland and their own domestic issues from an internal way and an external way. We see that in history, especially in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see that in history. So this is why it's important. Yeah, have a recreational hobby that leads to productivity during leisure time, and that's what leads to vacations being a foreigner concept, and that's where vacations and holidays and stuff like that first started getting derived from. Right? And y'all have to try to make a miniature version of that for yourselves, not based upon what you've seen on TV, not based upon what you learned from watching a commercial, not based upon societal norms when it comes to Thanksgiving and 4th of July and all that type shit, and the Americanized concept of what they be caring about, because that's what they work for and their ancestors and stuff like that. All right, you need to make your own version of that and not give a fuck when they try to self-project that onto you on a high percentage scale, because a lot of time they just trying to get that dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time they just trying to get that cream. Shout out to Wu-Tang. They just trying to get that cream. So, hey, if you want to be in the same position of how they is, nigga, get your own cream. Get your own shit that you got to worry about. Get your own productivity and stuff like that. Get your own holiday, sacred day and stuff like that. Get your own culture. Get your own thing outside of whatever concept they got going on.